Hey, what is up everybody? I'm actually making this video as a tutorial for the scaling lower thirds After Effects project file that you have probably downloaded. So hopefully this will help in just getting you having some things change as far as your images, your text, and getting everything set up. So I'm going to play the video here real quick, and feel free to fast forward if you can, just so you can kind of remember what to expect. So we've got the title coming in through the bottom, it goes back and scales, and then we've got a headline text as the image in the background is panning around. And basically we've got the same scaling images going to different areas of the screen, but they're already they're colored, the opacity is different, and I'm using the Railway font, which is a free Google font. There's the headline again, it's going to go back, and then we've got one more image that's going to have another lower thirds text and pop right in the middle. Remember that the audio is actually not included with the project file. That is just the preview video that I had. So let's go ahead and jump into the project file here and we'll take a look. So right here, you'll see that we've got the project files. I've labeled everything with image 1 through 5. I've got all the pre-comps set up here. And if you're not really familiar with After Effects, just bear with me and I'll try the best that I can do. I won't teach you the entire program, but I'll let you know how to get your images changed. So up here in your project bin, I've got the composition, it's right there. I've got image placeholders right here. We'll go over those in just a second. And pre-comps right here. So basically the pre-comps, if you're not familiar, those are just pre-composed kind of buckets of elements or whatever you have in their audio, video. If you double click on them right here, it'll actually open them in a separate window, listing everything. It's kind of like a group. So you put everything in that group. And so if you go up here to the image placeholders, you notice we've got all this colored screen here. So when you want to put your own images into here, there's two ways you can do it. I'm going to show you a quick tip, by the way. But this right here, you can actually double click on it. It'll open your file explorer. And you can pick your image and then click open and add it in that way. Another thing that you can do is if you want to drop your images into this bin and you hold your Alt key, what you want to do is you want to select the image that you're going to replace. So let's say in this case, we're going to do image 1. You're going to find your image up here. You're going to click on that as well. Hold your Alt key and drag your image from here and then drop it down right on top of the one that's highlighted. That'll actually put your image right on top of the one the placeholder that I've got in here, and it will go ahead and fill in the background. It'll keep all the transitions and everything along with that with all the keyframes and everything right here. So if you notice, I'm going to scrub through this timeline and go back. All of everything still moves in the background, and it looks kind of strange because there's no images in there right now. But one thing you want to keep in mind, I mentioned about the resolution. So the pictures that I used in the video, some of those had a resolution of 2560 by whatever it was, a little bigger. Some of them had 1920 by 1080. So you want to keep that in mind when you're using your images to make sure that the images or the resolution matches the images that of the scales that I did in here. Otherwise, when you scroll through here and it pans around this like this and it rotates and comes out, if you get to one and your image is not big enough, what's going to happen is it's going to come out of the screen and you're going to have a black background, which is not going to look good. So the next thing I wanted to show you was just on how to render the project and change your actual title text. So if we'll go into, let's say we'll pick this first one. What you want to do is, I've got these labeled the best I thought you could actually remember them. So lower third green, this is kind of a green color. What you want to do is double click on this to open the pre-composition. You've got title and subtitle. So title is this large title, subtitle is this, and I put in there to double click. So if you want to change the title text, you just double click on it and then type whatever you want it to say. So we'll put headline. And then you can't just hit enter because it'll actually put an enter in the line. What you want to do if you're on a Mac, hit Command Enter. That will actually allow it to set. Or you can just click off of the element there and it'll actually put it in there for you too. So that gets that changed. Now, when you're rendering the project, once you're done with everything and you're ready to go ahead and get it rendered, what you want to do is go to your composition. So close out of this, go back to your composition, and you're going to go to the file menu, which you can't actually see in my screen recording. And then normally you'd see this export, and most other programs you can export it to there. But in that file menu, you don't have anything. So what you want to do is go up to composition, and then you're actually going to go to add to render queue. You actually have to select on this composition down here, composition, and then add to render queue, and that's going to bring up this screen right here. Now, here's what you really want to pay attention to, because it defaults to the best settings unless you've customized it in some way. You want to change this to something that's not going to take up 7 gigabytes on your hard drive unless you want absolutely the best settings. So when you click on that, it'll open the render settings. You can pick a different quality. You can actually change the resolution. It's 1920 by 1080. So that's a high resolution. I wanted to make sure that you get a good quality video out of this. And then all these other settings I'm not going to go over. You feel free to customize as you want. It'll show you the time frame here on how long it is, the duration, and then just click OK. So once you click OK, that'll actually go back to here and show you what you've changed. The output module, so you can change different formats here, and then when you click the output to, you can actually select where you're going to output it to, and then rename the file and what you want to save, and then you're going to click render. If you want, you can drop this arrow down. It'll give you all the details, how much time's elapsed, how much time is remaining, and then it'll have all this filled in once you start the render process. And so basically, I wanted you to be able to come in here, add your images, your text is already on here, and you're ready to go. You've got your video done. That way you don't have to worry about creating your video in maybe Premiere and then having to drop your After Effects titles onto the Premiere project and then render it, although that's perfectly fine. You can take them from here if you're a little more experienced. But I just wanted to have one, pan and zoom shots for your images, and then you've got all your text ready to go. So hope this helps. If you have any questions, just get with me on the Envato market. I've got the community forum discussion, not forum, sorry, the just discussion area there for any questions that you might have. So thanks for taking the time out of your day, and I'll see you next time.